Hello friends, welcome. Today we are going to see one of the most important network theorem, that is maximum power transfer theorem. So let us start the maximum power transfer theorem. See, according to the statement of maximum power transfer theorem, here we see that maximum power theorem states that the maximum power will be delivered to the load resistance if the load resistance RL connected to the network is exactly equal to the internal resistance Ri of the network delivering the power. So what does it mean that we are going to see? First, before that, we should understand the power in electronic circuits is given by product of voltage and current, that is P is equal to V into I. But according to Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to IR. So if we replace this V by IR, then we can also write power is equal to I square R. So now we are going to think about the maximum power transfer theorem. So see, here it is shown, there it is one network, and there are two terminals across which the output of the network is taken where RL is connected. So see, inside this network, here it is a concept of black box. Inside this box there can be a number of voltage sources, number of resistances and other components. So finally this circuit is giving some voltage and current across point A and B, and that product is power. So here in this network we are going to see that what maximum power transfer theorem is. So see, here it is. Let us consider the same network. Now for sake of understanding, what we have done is that this is the network to which now we are seeing the inner view, that is there it is one battery and there it is a resistance. We may call it that is V in, and connected to resistance R in. Or if any complicated circuit is there, we know that any circuit can be replaced by Thevenin's equivalent voltage source VTh in series with RTh. So you can consider a simple network like this, V in or R in and R in, or a complicated network finally converted into Thevenin's equivalent network having voltage source VTh and RTh. If this is the situation, that means this network is providing certain voltage and current. So when we connect load resistance RL across AB terminal, so obviously it will deliver some power, and that power will be given by power is equal to this IL square into RL. So that is a delivered power. But we know that the current in the circuit IL depends on the value of total resistance in the circuit, that is RL and Rin. So if we go on changing load resistance RL, obviously the total resistance in the circuit will change. Ultimately the current value IL will change. So when we go on changing the value of load resistance connected, then the power delivered also changes. That is important thing. But this circuit gives a maximum power at the output then and only then when this load resistance value is exactly equal to the internal resistance value Rin. That is a maximum power transfer theorem. So power will be delivered, maximum power P max will be delivered at the output when load resistance value is exactly equal to internal resistance. So friends, for that we need to calculate, we know that is as shown in figure, V is equal to IR, that is Ohm's law. But now we want to find out the current IL. So in this circuit, whatever voltage across this load resistance is appearing, so for that we need to first calculate the current. So here we are going to see that is IL is equal to V upon RL. So this is now load current, and now what this voltage is, so wherever we are connecting this terminal, how much voltage this circuit is providing, that is also called as a VOC, that is open circuit voltage, divided by the RL. So here when we connect RL, we see that here the current water flowing through RIN, the same current is flowing through RL. So we can say that RI and RL both are in series. That is what the thing. Now here we got the value of current, but we know that power is equal to I square flowing through load resistance into RL. So here I square RL. So what is value of I? So according to Ohm's law, I is equal to V divided by R. In this case it is VOC divided by RL plus Rin, which is a total resistance in the circuit, and therefore power I square RL is given by VOC square divided by RL plus Rin square into the load resistance RL. So this is equation 1, in which we saw power is equal to VOC square divided by RL plus Rin square into RL. So that is, now here it is, from this it is clear that power is equal to I square RL into RL. So value of power depends on value of load resistance, and if we go on changing the value of load resistance, the value of power will also change. So if we change the value of load resistance at particular value, if RL is varied, at particular value of RL, when it is exactly equal to Rin, the power delivered will be maximum. So that is, power will be maximum. So here, but we see that Pmax. So here if we see how exactly it is happening, see in this graph, here it is, we are changing the value of load resistance, it is plotted on x-axis, and we are measuring the current, that is P is equal to I square RL. So here if we change the load resistance, we see that the value of power is increasing initially. With respect to increase in RL, it increases, but at particular point the power is maximum. If we increase the resistance RL more than that value, the delivered power will decrease. So at this particular point, when RL is equal to Ri, the power delivered is maximum. So below that point, the power is less than maximum, and above that point, the power is again less than maximum. But see here, if we see the graph, so we find that at particular this point, the slope, that means change in power with respect to change in load resistance, that is d change in power divided by change in load resistance, that is the slope of this graph curve, so that is equal to 0. So it is a condition for maximum power. So power will be maximum at that point when there will be dPL by dRL is equal to 0. So here we already saw equation 1. So now we are going to see that here we got the value of power. So now we are going to differentiate this equation with respect to RL. So here differentiating equation 1. So we are getting dPL divided by dRL is equal to d here we are putting the value of power, that is voltage VOC square into RL divided by RL plus Rin. So that is what the value of power, but we know that this VOC is a constant, so we can write like this: VOC square into derivative of power with respect to load resistance, that is VOC square RL divided by RL plus R in bracket square. So this gives us VOC square into here it is RL into RL plus Rin raised to 2. So if you go to numerator, it becomes 10 raised to minus 2, that is RL plus Rin. So that is we are getting. So using formula of derivative u into v, there are two terms, that is u and v. So using that formula we have dPL by dRL is equal to VOC square into, so what we are going to do, v into derivative of u plus u into derivative of v. So here with respect to RL, derivative of RL is 1 into second term as it is, that is RL plus R in plus derivative of second term, that is minus 2 times RL into RL plus R in minus 3. So here it is term RL as it is, and derivative of this term is minus 2 into bracket RL plus Rn raised to minus 3, that we got. So from this we are getting VOC square is equal to dPL by dRL is equal to VOC square into RL plus Rin raised to minus 3. So here remember that we are taking a common RL plus Rin raised to minus 3, but here term is only what? RL plus Rin. So now here we need to multiply by it, RL plus Rin. So that is why this term will be into bracket, here it is RL plus Rin minus 2 RL. So that we've got dPL by dRL is equal to now Rin minus RL divided by this term, that is RL plus Rin raised to minus 3. But according to maximum power transfer theorem, the power will be delivered maximum when dPL by dRL that is equal to 0. And here from this equation we can see that this value will become 0 only when this term is 0, and this term is 0 is only when Rin is exactly equal to RL. So but theorem says dPL by dRL is equal to 0, and it is possible only when Rin is equal to RL. So see here, when Rn is equal to RL, these terms goes to 0, that you remember. And this way we can say that the maximum power transfer theorem is proved. So we now see here that when RL is equal to Rin, RL will extract maximum power from network. So here if we put Rin is exactly equal to RL, we get PL is equal to I square RL is equal to VOC square divided by RL plus Rin bracket square into RL. So we get PL is equal to VOC square divided by 4RL square into RL, and so therefore Pmax is equal to VOC square divided by 4RL. So we can also directly calculate Pmax using this formula. This is all about maximum power transfer theorem. Okay. Now let us start to discuss some primary things and problems related to this chapter. So students, here we see it is simply for confirming understanding of the topics. So here it is problem 1. In this figure it is shown that there it is a battery with potential V is equal to 7 volt and current I is flowing through it. So here R1 is equal to 5 ohm and R2 is equal to 2 ohm. The question is, what we have to find out the value of current. So we know that according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Therefore I is equal to V upon R, and therefore V is 7 volt divided by, now this R is total resistance, that is both resistors are in series, so 5 plus 2 that is equal to 7 ohm, and we get 1 ampere current. So it is easy to find out current, that is current is equal to 1 ampere. But now question is, what if V in is equal to 5 millivolt? So let us consider here, instead of 7 volt if we are given 5 millivolt, so what will be the current? So current I is equal to, or instead of 5, let us consider 7 millivolt. So I is equal to V upon R. So remember that here it is 7 millivolt divided by R1 plus R2, that is 7 ohm. 7 millivolt is nothing but 7 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt divided by 7. So the value of current will be 1 milliampere. Milli means 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. That you should remember. So let us consider. Now you need to calculate what if R1 is equal to 5 mega ohm and R2 is equal to 2 mega ohm. So remember that 1 mega ohm is equal to 10 raised to 6 ohm. So obviously then voltage is 7 divided by total resistance is 5 plus 2 mega ohm, that is 7 mega ohm. So therefore 7 divided by 7 into 10 raised to 6. So the current will be 7 divided by 7 is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 amperes, and that is 1 microampere. Okay, so now you should try for this. What if resistance R1 is equal to 5 kilo ohm and R2 is equal to 2 kilo ohm? So try yourself. So now let us consider the second circuit. Now see, just look at the circuit and you might be wondering that how many resistors are there. But now let us consider if we are given this kind of circuit. So now here we are trying to understand the concept of series and parallel resistances. If you have any doubt, please concentrate. So normally what we do, we take one circuit and we apply certain battery potential. Let us consider we are going to connect certain battery potential here. That is a battery which we are going to connect. But now question is that what will be the amount of current flowing through this, that is I, when this kind of network is given between terminal A and B. So our main problem is, in order to find out if voltage is known, to find out current, we must know the value of total resistance between terminal A and B. So we need to find out RAB. So how can we do it? A simple thing, remember that. Let us consider some current is entering point A. So obviously current will flow. So I have shown it by this arrow. Okay, red like arrow. So here, if this is current entering I, then the same current is coming to this point I. But look at this point C. That current which is shown by red arrow is now divided into two branches. That is, one branch this and another branch is this. That means remember that this resistance and these resistances are in parallel. Here it is branching. Okay, so now here I have shown the current by black arrow here, which comes here, then again it is divided into two branches. That means this and this resistance, these two resistances are parallel. But after passing through these resistors, when current comes here, it is exactly equal to incoming current, that we already know according to Kirchhoff's current law. But now when this amount of current comes to this junction, again it is divided into these two parts. That means this circuit and this part of circuit are parallel. Again the same current is reaching to junction G. When this current reaches here, again it is divided into these two parts. Now how to calculate the resistance in the circuit. So see, we have to calculate resistance between these two terminals. So we start from extreme end. So here you see, whatever current enters here, it is divided into this and this branch. But look here, that same current is flowing through these three resistors, that means R2, R1 and R3. So R2, R1 and R3 are in series. So therefore resistance between GH, R between G and H is equal to how much? See, some current is flowing through this resistance and some current is flowing through this resistance. That means R4 resistance is in parallel with series resistances R1, R2 and R3. R2, R1 plus R3. So this way you can calculate, and here it is 2 plus 3, 5 plus 5, that is equal to 10, and here it is 10. So we get that is 10 parallel to this addition is 10. So that is 10 and that is equal to 5 ohm. We know that R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. So we got this. So now we can say that now between R and resistance between G and H is only 5 ohm. So now let us consider, if it is 5 ohm, so we can easily say that, so this part will be now replaced by this, and whose value is what? 5 ohm. Remember, now look here at this point E. What is happening? Whatever current entering, some part is flowing through this part, but now it is equivalent to this 5 ohm resistance. So some current flows through this and some current flows through this. So what will be the resistance? REF, resistance between terminals E and F. So here we can see that this R5 is now parallel to this resistance. Okay, so here we get R5 parallel to resistance between R, G and H. So that we already know 5. So there it is, this 5 is parallel to this 5 ohm. So here we get 5 parallel to 5, that is equal to 2.5 ohm. So now if we talk about REF, up to REF, now this total circuit is giving us the resistance of 2.5 ohm. So that can be replaced by 2.5. So we can easily say that now let us consider this part will be replaced by this resistance, that is 2.5. But look at this point, whatever current entering here, some part goes this side and some part to this side. So here it is, these two resistors are parallel and here the resistance is series. So this current is flowing through this and this. So this combination plus this, these are in series. So here it is 5 parallel to 5, that we know it is 2.5, plus this 2.5 plus this 5. So that means if you look at these three branches, the total resistance in the series is 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 5, that is equal to 10 ohm. So now it is parallel to CD. So resistance between CD is equal to this 10 ohm, that is R9, is parallel to resistance between this terminal RCD due to these three resistors, that is a parallel RCD. So here it is R9. Let us consider this parallel combination instead of RCD. Let us consider it is parallel to, let us consider R6 parallel to R7 plus this resistance plus R8 plus R5, whose value we already calculated, that is a. So now here we are getting this resistance parallel to this. So how much it is? We saw it is 10 and 10, that is equal to 10 parallel to 10. 10 parallel to 10, that is equal to 5 ohm. Now we can say that again this branch CD, so resistance between R CD is equal to 5 ohm. And now if we replace this RCD, this complete network, by 5 ohm, now we have to calculate this resistance, that is 10 plus 5 plus 15. Sorry, here it is 5 plus 15. So this way you are going to get the total resistance in the circuit. Okay, that is a basic idea. So try to solve the problem. Consider any voltage. Let us consider this is equal to 10 volt. Then try to find out what is the current in the circuit. Okay, thank you very much.